All right, old school NBA fans, self-research, NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. I want to give a special thanks to 3Crazy83. Thanks a lot, my man, for the super thanks. It is much appreciated. And also to Undelineated Hoops from the Czech Republic. Appreciate it, my man. Thank you so much for your support. In this video here, I kind of want to show some of the younger fans who maybe don't know, haven't seen all the games, that the Chicago Bulls did not have a cakewalk to all those championships. It was not a piece of cake. It was not just they showed up and the other team just wilted. No, that's just not what happened. Not even just the championship years. The Bulls, a lot of times Michael Jordan, had to make a key play or series of plays to pull these things out. If they don't make them, they're probably not winning all those championships. One or two plays and a lot of these games goes the other way, yeah, they're not winning. But because the Bulls made so many of these big plays at the end of games, it somehow makes it seem like the competition was not fierce. That is an incorrect assumption to make. When the lights were at their brightest, when the clock was ticking down, that's where Michael Jordan was at his best. What do you want me to say? And the Bulls fed off of that. We'll start right out with 1989 in the first round. The Bulls were the severe underdog. They were a 47-win team going up against a 57-win team in a best of 5 on the road in Cleveland. It was a close game all the way down to the end, and then a series of plays happened.
Seconds to go. In the middle of the floor. Jordan has it. And Jordan puts up a jumper and hits with 6 seconds to go. Jordan hits the basket and now has 42 points in the game, and the Cavaliers have called a timeout. Answer by Darty. Hilo will inbound. He gets it into Nance, gets the ball back, drives to the hoop, and lays it in with 3 seconds to go. Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go, puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago. Michael Jordan hit the basket at the buzzer.
And there you go. The Bulls pulled it out. Down by 1, Michael Jordan on a double clutch, you just saw, won the game. That's just simple heroics, will. And that shot got them to the conference semifinals. Again, the underdog. They're playing the Atlantic Division champion Knicks. The Knicks were the better team. They had a good squad. They had Gerald Wilkins and Charles Oakley and Mark Jackson and Patrick Ewing. They had a good team. The Bulls are up 3-2 in Game 6 is in Chicago, a game they gotta have. And then this happened.
Remaining. Pippen and Walker in a fight, right? Both of them throwing punches. They're both gonna be ejected. They should be.
Pippen and Walker, as Chuck defined for you, right down in front of Chuck Daly, who's sitting at a vantage point on the end zone down there. Both of them got at least a couple of punches in.
If, in fact, the officials invoke the rules as they're specified, throwing a punch is ejection.
Well, Doug Collins knows exactly what you're saying right now and is very frustrated and is aware that he might lose Pippen for a following round playoff game should the Bulls win, and might lose Pippen also should they have to go back and play at Madison Square Garden. In this game, Pippen 19 points and 4 rebounds. Kenny Walker, no points and only 1 rebound.
You'll see it off the ball left side. There's some jostling right here. They had started even before that. There's another push. There's the first punch, another punch, and they get into it. But there was some punching going on even before that. Even Darryl Garrison got hit. He's got to wear a helmet. Where's the curve from?
Into Ewing. Tucker for 3. Indy's fouled. It could be a 4-point play. Hodges bumped Tucker. He hit the triple, will go to the line, and would tie it with the free throw with 6 seconds remaining. And Tucker. It's tied with 6 seconds left. Jordan has it. Into the paint. He's fouled in the shot with
4 seconds left. The Bulls don't want to have the same problem and foul.
Jordan gets them both. Newman's wide open.
So Pippen decides to get into a fight with Kenny Walker at the end of the third quarter. Dummy. He gets ejected. Kenny Walker got ejected. Big whoop. They don't even care about Kenny Walker. They got Pippen out of the game at a severe disadvantage. They had a 6-point lead going into the fourth quarter, which they barely held on to. Then some idiot, I think it was Hodges, fouls Trent Tucker for a 4-point play to tie the game. But then Jordan, very aggressive, goes to the paint, gets fouled, makes the free throws, and wins the game. If the Bulls don't execute on that final play, or the Knicks were to hit that three at the end, then the Bulls would be going to New York for a Game 7. And at that time, it really wouldn't look too good. Pippen and Grant were very young players at that time. And then obviously they lost in 1989 to the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. They got back to the Eastern Conference Finals in 1990, where in Game 7, they had no chance of winning. John Paxson was out in that game, a very little talked about fact. Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, Bill Cartwright, B.J. Armstrong, and Craig Hodges were a combined 11 for 57. It was ridiculous. Pippen was 1 for 10. I think Horace Grant was 1 for 12. Bill Cartwright was like 1 for 8. It was ridiculous how bad those guys were in that game. Jordan was like 13 for 27. Wasn't his fault. But you win as a team, you lose as a team. Pippen had the migraine, whatever. Never made any excuses about it. But come on, if your supporting cast shoots under 20%, you're not beating anybody. 1991 Finals with a series tied 1-1. This is the critical, pivotal game right here. And with the Bulls up 1 towards the end of regulation, here you go.
Divac fumbled it, recovered, and hit! Yes! And it counts! And the Bulls do not have any timeouts remaining. Craig Hodges, the three-point specialist, has checked in. Here's Jordan on the pull-up. Yes! And the game is tied at 92.
With the threat of the three-point shooters on the floor, you can't come and help quite as quickly on Michael. He gets Scott back into an area where he feels comfortable.
NBA Championship Series. Here's Jordan. Yes! 4 of 5 from the line. The spin by Jordan and hits on the reverse. Back out. Shot clock down to 3. Perkins to the hook. And the rebound snatched by Jordan. Michael Jordan for a Horace Grant. Jordan posting. And Jordan fouled. Able to settle down. They closed strong and have returned the favor, beating the Lakers at the Forum. And they take a 2-1 lead in the best of 7. Michael Jordan finishes with 29, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. He had 6 of his 29 in overtime.
So Michael Jordan, after Divac hit the and one to put them up 2, comes down the court, hits the shot over an outstretched Divac, ties the game. Then in overtime, as you saw, Jordan made the plays and gave Magic Johnson nothing, all while he had 5 fouls on him. And Scottie Pippen was sitting on the bench with 6 fouls for the entire overtime. Magic, no points, no assists. There you go. The will I was talking about, making the plays. 92 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 6. If the Bulls lose, they're in Game 7, where anything can happen. So the Bulls are up 93-90, and this is what happened the rest of the way.
3 seconds remaining. Price for 3. Yes! And he's tied the game at 93. Here's Jordan. Yes, and it counts. 7 seconds remaining in the fourth. Went over in a collision, and a foul is given by Doherty. Jordan is 7 of 7 from the line. Everybody to be surprised. The Chicago Bulls are headed back to the NBA championship. the Cleveland Cavaliers. In 6 games, they do it here tonight by the score of 99-94.
So again, Mark Price hits that big three. Jordan comes down with a 3-point play, and that's the eventual game winner. And they win 99-94 on that and one. The 92 finals in Game 6. Again, if the Bulls don't win, it's Game 7. They're down by 15 points at the end of the third quarter.
Now Jordan met by Porter. There's a 2-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. And now the foul given by Porter.
Offense going after this free throw.
4-point Chicago lead. Drexler was checking, thought there might have been a timeout remaining. Here's Kelsey for 3. Paxson with the rebound. Time running down. The Chicago Bulls have won the NBA championship for the 2nd straight season.
And then the Bulls up 2. Jordan takes the ball down the court. He is not giving it up. If you're going to foul somebody, it's going to be me. You saw, hit the foul shots, again, makes the plays to win the games. 93 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5. Now, Jordan definitely had a piece of this, but it was a team effort.
Here's Starks, changed his mind. Plenty of time on the shot clock, down to 10. Ewing for Smith. 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 Stopped again by Pippen. What a play by Scottie Pippen. Final seconds, Jordan for Armstrong. And the Bulls have defeated the Knicks. The Chicago Bulls with a couple of spectacular plays.
But you pulled it out at the end. We realized that the third quarter is going to be very important for us. We just wanted to kind of maintain, stay in the game in the third quarter, and we knew we had our chance in the fourth.
Now, a lot of things, you guys kept your poise. A lot of things went against you, the referee. I mean, a lot of calls that could have been controversial, but you kept your poise and stayed in it.
That was one of the best plays I've ever seen defended, like a team defensive play. Probably the best play I've ever seen. They were up by 1 point with 10 seconds to go. Charles Smith makes that layup. They're down 3-2, and they would have shown that they can't win in New York. But they pull it out with that great defensive play and win it, 97-94. Then in the finals, 93 against Phoenix.
We're just under 1 minute remaining. In this fourth quarter, Suns lead 98-94. Ames pitches back to Frank Johnson. Rebounded by Michael Jordan. Now Frank Johnson, not the man that the Suns would have wanted to take that shot, and Jordan is able to go the distance. 2-point Phoenix lead. 25 seconds to go. 10 on the shot clock. Pippen over to help. Marley eluding Jordan. Frank Johnson gives it back. Marley. Oh, he went short. And it's a 24-second violation has come down to this possession.
They want Michael to get a full head of steam, try to keep him in the middle of the floor.
Well, Pippen got the step. Here's Paxson for 3. Yes! The Bulls take a 1-point lead, and Phoenix calls for time with 3 9/10 remaining in the fourth quarter. Evan Johnson will inbound. Oliver Miller plays it. Here's Johnson. Johnson gets, no, he could not get it off. Knocked away by Grant. It's all over. The Chicago Bulls have made it 3 straight NBA championships.
They were actually down 4 with under a minute to go. As you saw, Jordan hit that layup, cut it to 2. Phoenix missed the shot. I think it was Marley. And then they ran a play for the opposite side, as they thought all the attention would be in the paint and on Jordan. So instead, they had Paxson on the opposite side, wide open. Grant immediately passed the ball to him. Bam! Phoenix couldn't do anything. Horace Grant with the biggest block of his career. Another championship. There you go. Making the plays. So what they needed then was Jordan's layup, a defensive play against Phoenix, Paxson's 3, and another defensive play to guarantee that championship so it didn't go 7 in Phoenix. Fast forward to 1997, Utah and Chicago, Game 1. Now inside of a minute, Jordan missed a free throw that would have gave him a 1-point lead. but then Karl Malone missed 2 free throws, so then the game is tied 82-82 with 7 seconds left.
Don't foul. Jazz over the foul limit. We're down to 5. Jordan putting moves on Russell. We're down to 2. Now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! It is all over. The Chicago Bulls have won at the buzzer in Game 1 of the best of 7 on the jump shot by Michael Jordan.
Bam, there you go. He made the play to win the game. Put him up 1-0 on the fast track of winning that series. They win it 84-82. Game 5 in the same series. The flu game. We all know about that. The game is tied 85-85. And here you go.
Free throw shooter during the season. And the game is tied at 85. Masterfully at the line. Jordan able to scoop up the loose ball for the possession with 40 seconds remaining. The game tied at 85. 10 on the shot clock. Pippen backing Hornacek. Here's Jordan for 3. Yes! Michael Jordan from straight away. Remaining the inbounds, and the Chicago Bulls have defeated the Utah Jazz to take a 3-2 lead. They win it 90-88. A courageous, classic performance by the flu-ridden Michael Jordan.
Yeah. So Jordan hits the 3 to win that game. That was the key play. They ended up winning it 90-88. They did the foul thing, and Utah just couldn't really get a bucket, and the Bulls won that game. That was a huge win to put you up 3-2 going back home for game 6 or 7 if needed. That was huge. 1998 Eastern Conference Finals Game 7. With the score tied 79-79 with under 5 minutes to go. And Indiana just couldn't do anything with the ball. They started to unravel while the Bulls defense ratcheted it up.
For Smith, who goes to the floor to try to recover it, but his saving pass is stolen by Kukoc. Dribble, you can't give up on your dribble. Smith can't hit the hook. McKee, and he travels. On Pippen, dealing out to Miller. Big 3, won't go. They look for Smith, and Harper deflects it. McKee for 3. It's long. Reggie running off screens, but it's Smith with a quick turnaround and miss. Dale Davis can't hit the tip. Longley has it, protects the ball, and on to the finals. For the 6th time in 8 years, go the Chicago Bulls.
They won 88-83, meaning in the last 5 minutes, the Bulls weren't amazing, but they outscored them 9-4 in the last 5 minutes to end the game and get back to the finals. Then in the 98 finals, very little talked about game. People don't really talk about this one. Yeah, they talk about game 6. The Bulls are up 3-1. The game where Utah only scored 54 points. Those games get all the attention. What about game 2? The Bulls are down 86-85 with under a minute to go. And this is what happens.
Kerr, pull up 3. No, got his own rebound. Michael hits it, and Chicago reclaims the lead. There's a foul as well. Jordan has taken 33 shots to score 34 points. But what's important is that his team now leads by a basket. Moving down toward 40 seconds. Man, having trouble. Malone, now Russell gets it back. Good look at a 3, and it rattles in and out. Morris follows. That ices it. 37 for Michael. Stockton from half court. Chicago comes into Salt Lake City, weary or not, and gets out with a split.
And that was to get a split. 1-1. Huge. Because you got the 3 middle games. You get it back to Utah, anything can happen. Utah lost games 3 and 4, but they won game 5, and that's all they really needed to get it back to Utah, where they were so deadly at home. And then, of course, game 6, tied at 83. Here you go.
Cross court, Stockton, a 3. It's there! Pippen into Jordan. Michael working on Russell. Brings them to within 1.
They scored within 4 seconds there. That's how quickly that changes now. Now it puts the pressure on the Jazz to score once again.
Jordan with 43. Malone is doubled. They swat at it and steal it. Here comes Chicago. 17 seconds. 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Timeout, Utah. 5.2 seconds left. Michael Jordan running on fumes with 45 points. Stockton. Harper's on him. Behind the screen. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship, and it's their second three-peat.
The Bulls made the plays at the end of these games in critical games to win. The only series the Bulls didn't win that I thought they had a legitimate shot at winning. Obviously, in Jordan's career, 1985, 86, 87, no shot. 88 against Detroit, no shot. Their front court was so far outclassed by the Pistons, it wasn't even funny. 89, they were up 2-1, and that's the only series they ever lost with a lead. But I don't think legitimately they really ever had a chance to win that series. Maybe make it more interesting. But when Pippen took the elbow 1 minute into Game 6 and then he was out for the rest of the game, that was a wrap. So no real shot of winning that one. They had to win that one and then win Game 7 in Detroit. No way. 1990, very evenly matched. That one they maybe could have. If Pippen doesn't have a migraine, the entire team doesn't suck, and John Paxson plays, maybe. That's one I would say that they might have had a chance, but in Game 7, they really had no chance. And in 1995 against Orlando, maybe, but they just couldn't handle O'Neal and Grant inside. I don't really think the Bulls lost any series that they should have won, but I think they won series that they easily could have and maybe even should have lost. Definitely. Few in there. So the media loves to build this narrative about how weak the Bulls' competition was. If you're able to win three-peats, the competition must be weak. That's not what happened. If you were there, you knew. The competition was not weak. But the Bulls made the plays at the end of these games. That's all there was to it. They made the plays. The other teams didn't. Earlier in Jordan's career when he couldn't win, yeah, he had no front court. The other team made all the plays. They just overwhelmed the power forward and center. Every series he played, whether it was Milwaukee, Boston, Detroit, they just couldn't handle him inside. Nothing Jordan could do. You're not going to be able to carry your way through that. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you wouldn't mind sharing it, that would be great. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I give daily content, and that's it. Until next time.